great kid. You could see from his freshman year to his senior year, he's really grown into a real leadership of this team, and he's really taken that serious. And it helps having an older brother that was on the team also, and kind of following in his footsteps. But I mean, just a great kid. You could tell that he'd be happy if he scored 2 when we won, or if he scored 20. I mean, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better senior to lead this team.
He's grown into this just amazing young man that, I think the things that he prides himself on, just being, a student athlete, and he's such a fierce competitor, and he's really just also compassionate, and he's like a team leader. So I think Walker, as an athlete, he's really come a long way in terms of how he values the game, what he values as a person. And so in that regard, it's like amazing to see your son grow into this wonderful young man. And then just as my son, it's just, I'm like beaming with pride at, just who he's grown in as a young man. So he's just a wonderful person.
So thinking about Walker from, a young age to now, he's very mature, very athletic, very passionate, loving, and just overall a great kid. Happy to call him my son, and really proud of everything he's accomplished, both academically as well as athletically.
We had a really good team his freshman year. You could see the potential in him, and now he's starting to grow into his body and everything. And, I would say he's probably one of the most athletic kids, in this area. So I couldn't ask for a better kid to coach, and, he's very coachable also. That's a big part of it, the kids being receptive to what you're saying too.
Walker had a ball in his hands before he could even walk. And I think it always, as the younger child, you're always sort of following in your older siblings' footsteps. So he was like a gym rat. He'd always be in the gym. He always had a ball in his hand. And so it's funny seeing my 6'1" son now grow from this young kid who we traveled with St. Patrick. We traveled across New England and, with AAU, and he always was in the gym, but he's really just evolved, I think, for the love of the game. He loves the game. So maybe in the beginning he was sort of in the shadow of his brother, but I don't think he's in the shadow any longer.
His game is similar to, when he was younger, but his height-wise, him growing a lot more, and his just athleticism is, off the charts. You can see it in the games. He's one of our best rebounders, at his size. And we ask him to do a lot. And at his height, most of the time it's basically he should be a guard. But we're asking him, to be our best rebounder at 6'1", and that's part of what makes him such a good player, is because he's receptive to it too. He's not complaining because he has to rebound a lot, or he has to rebound like, he's a power forward. We still want him to play like a guard, but on the defensive end and offensive end, we ask him, to do a lot. And he's really receptive to it, and he does it.
I'm really just proud of him and the student he's become. I think over the years he's just gotten better and better at his, academics, and was really proud of him taking the big leap. It would have been really easy to go to NFA for him, growing up in Norwich, but he really wanted to challenge himself academically as well as athletically, and took the hard road instead of the easy road.
Being here at St. Bernard really was a great fit for him. I think having that component of nurturing your faith was also something that he valued. you know, having something to support him as he's, you know, just going through all of these milestones in his life. So I think St. Bernard's been a great fit for him.
With his athleticism now and him being able to dunk and kind of what we were talking about before, is him trying to dunk everything. And I've been getting on him a little bit about it as far as, you know, every fast break, he's trying to figure out whether should I dunk it or should I lay it in? And, you know, a couple of times he kind of slipped up a little bit or whatever, and I had to get on him. But that's probably one of the funnier moments of whatever that me and him have had, you know, interacting with each other.
He's fierce. He's compassionate. He's loving. He's loyal and amazing.
Compassionate, loving, caring, athletic, and driven.
He's a really caring person, though. You know, just thinking about it. He, like I said, whether he scores 2 or he scores 20, you know, he's worrying about other kids too. You know, and that's part of why he's such a good leader, is because he's worrying about the other kids also. You know, he's not just worrying about what he's doing. You know, and we try to teach all our kids that. And he's really embodied that, you know, throughout the years, and he's gotten extremely better at that. And I think, you know, his parents have helped him with that, you could tell, because his brother was the same way. You know, so that's a quality I think that his parents really instilled in him, you know, from a young age, and he's just really, you know, knocked it out the park, really.
I think what I see is going to be far exceeded by what he does. He really is very mature in terms of his thinking of what he wants to do next. I think college is something he knows he wants to further his education. I think he wants to be an electrician and have his own business. But I don't see it stopping there. I think he really is continually trying to grow as a person, and you know, he talks about having a family and being a provider, and those are all things when you hear your son, your youngest, say that, it's sort of like, wow, that's, you know, it warms your heart to think he's just grown into this wonderful young man.
I just see great things. I feel like Walker, no matter what he decides to do with his career and path, his profession, he's going to excel. He's really driven to better himself as well as others. And I think he's going to be a great leader, could be someday a great boss, and do really well for himself.
I mean, honestly, man, he just has to keep doing what he's doing. Honestly, man, like he's a great kid. He's got a great, you know, head on his shoulders. And the one thing that, you know, me and you were talking about earlier, like he has a great supporting cast around him. You know, he has great parents. You know, he has great friendships with kids on the team. You know, kids that are steering him in the right direction, you know, that are going to support him and make sure he's doing the right things. So he just has to just keep doing what he's doing, and he'll, you know, we'll be reading about him in, you know, 5-6 years about doing something special.